When you end the call, you should have a link to the recording. It's only be available 30 days.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this whole Skype video is recorded. Also got post this on YouTube for people because I don't want any questions. I mean, this is all for information you can find on finviz. The most important thing is you just have to understand your finviz. Our patterns are like momentum scanners on TLS. Everything I do, I mean, I just go and find it based on momentum scanners. So if I share my screen, let me just do share screen. What really important is understanding short float, and when you're trading penny stocks, is that the whole point of short float is that you understand, okay, it can go here, 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 anytime. So that's really important. So if we take example yesterday, I called this out on Twitter on Friday. That pump. I mean, I got in really late, 160 something, 168, and my return was a 200% investment overnight. So it was easy enough that you could actually get 2,000 shares of the stock for just less than what you paid for, and it's a really big return. But then you have to look at the chart. You have to look, okay, the first breakout was a sign that we weren't going to go back to sub levels under $1. If you got in a sub $1, I mean, that would be fine. That'd be great. Because if you saw like pattern breaking, like this was forming a wedge pattern, and we have the SMAs crossing over, you really saw that this was a hint that you could got in 100, at least 1,000 shares. I did not. I was too careful, and I got in like 200 shares. But when you are my usual size for these are at least 1,000 or 1,000 or 500, depending on the ticker itself. But you have to have a budget of these. So 500 shares of this for a 200% return is a good gain right there. Another thing that you need to look for is the short float. So while I keep mentioning the short float, it's really important that the short float dictates how this can move a lot. And the average value it can trade was like, okay, 13 million. Well, yesterday, day before, it was only trading like 6 million %, but we got double the amount the other day, which was like around 100 million in volume. And that's something you need to know, is that, okay, the volume is insane on this, so it was best to take profit here, which I did. I took profits around $4. I couldn't trail it though, but the whole when you kind of just finding the volume, how it moves in ATR and stuff in the day, that really helps out in the future. So, another thing is that you want to look for is any insider buying. This one right here, I mean, I would really take this one because this is a fund, and this fund has really been actively buying their shares. President and CEO is really, really, really doing this. Okay, so there's not much volume on this, so it doesn't really tell you what's the short flow, but you can calculate how much the shares outstanding based on flow. So the RTR only moves 13 cents, so that's nothing we want. We want something that they can move, and we don't want to do any funds. We could do that though. I mean, screeners. I mean, this is something that I say all the time. It's like you just find it over relative volume. One, I mean, you can have make sure that you're not looking at ETFs, X funds, no funds, stocks only. I don't really care about the market cap, but one thing I do like, and something that this dude set on, is like, okay, if for over 10% of short value, gives us some clue. Okay, we narrowed down to at least so from narrowing down from over 1,000 to at least 200 is a big improvement. And then this is where I will try to look, and why I still succeed is because at this, because I find that it's much easier to scan for these, and then you can just look at the chart, and then can you make any sense of this? Like this one right here, this one I'm already thinking, okay, this one right here we had a back test, but this one's ready. The pattern itself is one giant. This is one giant cup and handle situation right now. So, I mean, this one, I'm looking at RETs too right now, since my RET just broke out. But this one right here, on the weekly, so we're on the daily right now. So, this looks like we're going to be back testing $6 soon. It's going to take time for these RETs to even go anywhere. But I know that once they break out pretty hard. And it's all depending on interest rates. Another one that we could look for, like this one right here, it's another one. You can take the opportunity if they have options. So you can narrow it down a little more, and you say, okay, it has to have options. And so you can narrow it down, and then you can say, okay, I only want to play options. So we just reduced it from 275 to 242 if you're just only interested in playing options. So you can do that way. This one right here, I would really consider this one because it's a double bottom. I mean, we're at the pivot point right here of volume. Notice that the volume here has been slowly picking up. Okay, so these are all bullish setups basically. I'm only looking to long the market right now because I can't really short it. And I know you should play both ways, but I can't really short the market because I don't want to wake up early. Another thing you can do, and you can, is that you can find things based on the moving averages. So price below the 20 SMA, so we can take a look. Okay, so this one's under the 200 SMA. So look how this one right here, we have this triangle breakout, and I know there was some news, but this could be like a buying opportunity because we got a discount here and here. So we're really at support right now for this one. You want to be careful with biotechs because you don't know what will happen when there's a failed FDA or drug data approval. But most of my stuff, because I'm really active in the biotech space, I have a really strong bias with biotech and probably some tickers. You can also find things based on the 50 EMA. So when we're close to the 50 EMA, it shows a crossover. So we have this one, This one. Oh, this one right here. I can tell that already. This one is gonna draw a little more. And then can take opportunity. But this one has been sideways. So we want to have opportunities to go long and short. So we have head and shoulder pattern right here. But you can like scan things above, like a 50 cross the 200 right there. So that means it's bullish. So like this one right here, you know. So, you know, this would be a very compressed setup. And it's all about just playing with finviz settings. Like you don't need this only scans on daily, but if you have like momentum settings, basically, I would do what Hello World did. I mean, you can really find out yourself. Like there is no need for me. Like this setup right here. Like I would say, this because of the candle on this pattern, and then we consolidate it here. Some news. I think we can really retest $8. And then we might fill its gap right here. So these are opportunities that you want to look for. So, you know, basically, you have these ones right here. Like, okay, I can say this one. I know this one because I tried buying a job there when I was in San Diego. So, you know, I can make a short list based on this. Just knowing, like, okay, these gaps are going to get filled one day, but we don't know when. This one right here has the same setup I'm in with MSN. We're just waiting for MSN to pay. I mean, there's so much opportunity that you can look for just looking at biotech, and you don't really have to be scared of biotech, regardless of what people are saying. Like, oh, biotech's a piece of shit. Like that sector right there. Like, there's so many surprises. Like, but these surprises is where like most people make a lot of their money because there's really no volatility in when you go into tech stocks, because like the volatility it's not there when you're trying to like, okay, you're gonna try and make money in shares. And then so this would help. Okay, so the rocket right here, I mean, I sold my rocket, depressing rocket shares too soon. But this one, like VStat, I mean, this one is like a space play. I think I told one of my students, like, you gotta find space stocks. So, you know, we're not really at all-time highs, but we look on the weekly time frame right here. It's hitting the resistance. This would be like a really good opportunity because we have like what 1, 2, 3 candles. We're not at all-time highs yet. It reminds me of Maxar, and I've been telling all my students right now, like, yeah, these stocks right here have not reached their all-time highs. So you should really consider it. So Washington Prime Group, like right here. I mean, these red stocks right now. The next one that are going to go is the lagging kind of market is the real estate market. The real estate market is under pressure right now, and that's something you need to know. Is understanding each sector. If you understand each sector and what influence the policies and the policies that governments do, because government can influence a lot of these sectors right now. I'm saying because, and that's how you know sector rotation. If you're not really familiar with sector rotation, you need to start learning, because like this is something that I had to find out, you know, regardless, is like, okay, what sector is going to be hot? Like, seasonally, like, okay, what will start hitting us? Is it penny season? So penny season runs from January to May. No, at least January to April, around there. And then penny season kind of ends around there because it's slow. Then we have the best seasons of large caps after that. So from the whole time frame from mid-spring to summer, you will have large caps making the biggest moves. Around this time, also, seasonally wise, you have the housing market moving the market. So this is why you pay attention to like how it's seasonally. Does this make sense? Home Depot has the best sales during the summer. Their best sales in the summer happens there, and in January they cool down. That's why you don't see a lot of moves on Home Depot, but because they cool down. Housing stocks are hot during the summer, and if you're really bullish on the housing sector returning back to normal, then I would just say go find a real estate investment stock and just put at least $1,000 and get a dividend while you're at it, and wait until summer. And that's where you want to sell. That's because that's peak housing. Another thing that's really I learned is I would say, large caps do best in the summer. And then after a while, we have the runs of fall where like, okay, it's kind of bullish. But the real moves that really originate is natural gas. So, I learned this from a natural gas guy, the volatility of natural gas. If you want to start preparing for natural gas, you have to say you're buying in spring for summer. You're buying some summer for winter. And what that means is that you're basing it off weather patterns. So that's another thing. So natural gas, I usually play natural gas for UGN, but like I don't like getting burned that much on UGN because random natural gas spikes are not my thing, but we'll see. And yeah, so like if you want to build your own momentum scanner, these are the settings that I'm telling my students. Like, okay, these are the settings. Like, there's like you can just find it. Like, okay, this guy right here, you can find it. Like, okay, what's the last? And then you guys set your price points. Like, what is the last price? So you have to find a range, like a percent start. So I trade between 30 cents to $7. And they have to have at least a million volume, and then so that's the price change. So at least 3%. In Lord of the Penny stocks, I learned that when I was learning some from one before they kicked me out. There is a world called 90. I think it was 93.80 or something like that. But it essentially is like when a stock goes over 300%, 90%, consider taking profit around there. And if a stock goes over 120 to 330, that's when you get a lot of halts. That's when you have a lot of things going on there, and you really, really need to start trailing because like if you don't trail, you're gonna get fucked. I mean, there's no way about it. I mean, it happened on SPI. And if you invest in SPI in the summer, I mean, I caught some of it, but I wasn't able to. But, if you do not trail this, you would got fucked right here. Like, I mean, there was like 15 halts on this candle on the way up because we went from 72 cents to like $45 on bullshit news or something like that. So the float was really small, 80%. Ironically, right now, I think I told everyone I belong here because like we're above this resistance. But it is building momentum, so I would really say like $20 is the mark. If you have flowalgo like me, so let me just stop this so I don't can type my alright. Okay, so share screen. Okay. So if you have flowalgo like me, you can see a little bit of data. Okay, so one thing I'm telling my students right now is go. I'm the theme this year is really, and I'm gonna probably place a trade on go right now. I think I've been calling this one out. Okay, so the theme of this year and this month, what has been going on, is the rise of Reddit traders, and they're only buying stock. They don't understand. They don't understand all this data of constant data that I have right now, and I would, if you guys are interested, then like go find a few people and split a flowalgo subscription. Because data itself, I would not been make these kind of like $1,000 trades without any data. And I kind of used to share this with ST and stuff, but he doesn't have money to buy like a subscription to this, so I'm kind of splitting with someone right now. But the returns of data, having data at your hand, is pretty useful. So like this one right here, Fisker. Okay, so Fisker downtrend doesn't look like what it's doing shit right now, but you had to go and look at this expressions. The expressions really matter for this because unusual option activity really helps you stay in the game longer. I really stress that a lot, and that's why I keep posting my unoption using the activity scanner. So you guys can help me, and then you help me and help everyone call things out that when the unusual option scanner shows up. Because it's not that hard. And if you have Thinkorswim, I mean, it's really using Thinkorswim's priority platform to find these particular type of trades. So we have MTITT. I mean, this one itself, all the Reds are getting hits right now because they really been building up their position since winter. So all winter they've been building up their positions. And it would now be a good time to go long on them. So if you're looking for something like size-wise, this is something that you would want to look for. Okay, not that. Yeah, these sizes right here, like this $1 million order in here, just take it. I mean, just take it. Just take it and sling it. Like, don't even look back. It's $1 million fucking dollar order. Just lock order right there. Okay, this is the car thing right now. Okay, so see the chart. We're at support. Might take a while to pay. I actually did follow these ones before, and I fucking regret it because it was I think it was XLI. Okay, so what happened was that December, This kind of like threw me off in November because then it just I wasn't patient, but shit added on. But no, if they bought it, they were wrong too. But what they did though is that they bought time. So I got next month's contract for I guess December, but that was not enough because I took a big hit on that. But if I held, from here, and then I think they added on the position like on this breakout right here. That was a 500% move on the contracts from down here to like here because we gapped up that hard on industrials. So another thing that you want to pay attention to if you are in industrials like I am, I pay attention to this. We need to stay above this and not close this gap. If we do close this gap, expect a really hard rally going up because I think like industrials are going to benefit from the low interest rates right now. So yeah, and it kind of makes sense right now, like the green theme going on this year with buying a green fucking car that don't fucking make any sense. Oh, and this one right here, I mean, just take a real small position. It's a small flowalgo play, but the size is what matters the most. So, I'm just looking for any dark pool plays right now. Okay, so I would say. Okay, so go long on CLVS. What's something that had big volume? Yeah, Kroger is one of them. Eric. Okay, Eric. Right now, I would say Eric. I used to steer this, but then like it got too much. I'm just saying like, fucking get your own subscription to flowalgo. I'm not giving it to you. Okay, so yeah, Eric is one of those plays that I would say, okay, they're really gonna hit Eric, because Eric and Nokia, they're kind of in the same industry. Yeah, I would say their short float is really small. I mean, they're a really large German company. So I don't know. But we also have to put historical flow against it. We just had $1 million sweep on Nikola, a ship company. Okay, we're looking at Eric. So I think from I would start beginning of end of last month to now and see. And then we check. Okay, so Eric has been extremely bullish in the past month or so, and then they've been hitting the same strikes. So 13, 13, 12, 11, yeah. I would totally agree with that. Especially when they're hitting the same strike, that would really trigger an event would happen. Okay, bye. Okay, well, sorry. Okay. Um. So yeah, you guys have any questions? Okay, if not, we're done.
So I had a question about the insider buys. Do you pay
Inside
attention
line?
to what percentage of like the stock is owned by insiders at all, or do you just look for insiders who are
Oh
actively
yeah,
buying?
yeah, I pay attention to that
Yeah? Okay.
because there's not enough shares open to the public.
So you want it to be a relatively low percentage?
High.
High percentage? Okay.
So insiders, 90% constitution. We will look at other ones right now. This one has a really high percentage, like this one. I can show you another one. Institutions own this much. Insiders own 20%. So this one can really move on volume because there's not enough shares available. This one is probably the same thing. Institutions own 50% of this. Insiders own this much. So insider own like 0.5, and then you can find like who's been buying this. And so that's really important when they're buying their own shares. There's not enough shares available for the public to buy. Anyways, so that's a good question. Not sure if that elaborates anything, but all right. So also, if you have dark pool shit, dark pool really helps. Uh, I am planning to switch. So next month, I think I'll be moving to Charterflow. Like really have your own subscription because not relying on Discord to provide you the data, because you can't really search based on ticker because like it's in this channel. Like I can show you. Okay, so let's see. Like this server has Cheddar Flow, sweeps. It has all this stuff,
Can't
but
see the
it's like,
servers you're showing us.
I mean, it's more messier. You can find this shit. I mean, I'm not against it. Like this one right here. Um, some of these are paid servers. You can do unusual whales. Like I checked out their platform and I did one of their free alerts. But this one's more cheaper, more affordable for people. Um, just try this one for a month. It's like a $20 a month for trading. I mean, that's how much fees you pay for. You can also join so this one right here, one of my friends is in this one. This one is like, okay, this one's $49 a month. You can prepay for your data. It has all those news feeds and stuff. Oh wait, can't see.
Yeah, we can only see your Chrome screen. Everything else is grayed out.
Oh, sorry, forgot about that. Okay, so switch screen and window. Okay, so was saying like you can like do the whole Discord, be fucking cheap and do like find groups like have the data. If you're into that. I know a few groups that have the data itself, so they trade based on the data that comes in. But then it's always so messy, and then I can't really search things because there's always other things going on. So I always just say, you know what? I'm just gonna get my full hour subscription because and the data themselves, like kind of sometimes it can be different. like this Fubo call that came in. Like, I mean, it's the same detection system. But like, you know, I just want more organized. So I'm all about like kind of like typing in and seeing. Like I have a lot of groups that have the same type of data in these Discord groups, and it's all about what data you want to find. And then Bueller's group, I'm not really sure what Bueller has, but I'm just in it because like Chef's in it. I have no idea. Like, okay, he has a squat box, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this data, newsfeeds data. I don't know what they have. Let's look. So, if you have data and setups, like you can find. And another thing is like, okay, so Miss Izzy saying, okay, SPS still good. Okay, and there's a few people that you can find on Twitter and follow them. Like if you start from my Twitter and you dig down to the people I really like to follow, it's like people who post a lot of charts.
Do you have any recommendations off the top of your head?
Miss Izzy, Ram charts, and go on my Twitter. I have like Ripster, really helps. Because I don't really like posting a lot of charts on Twitter yet. Like I do post them, but like more like updates on my positions. So you can just start on Twitter. Vex trade is pretty good. Yeah, all these people I'm subscribed to are pretty good. So, Biotech. Oh, this guy's pretty good. Oh, I love this guy. This guy, I don't know what he does, but he posts his charts, and by the time I get to them, I'm already too late, and the stock already went up. Lizard King's pretty good, but he's more. You have to pay him $1 to trade and see if it works. This guy's pretty good. Momo, I tag him a lot. It's like, hey, because we're usually in the same trades. This guy, that guy. Oh, this guy's pretty good. Like he gets in before everyone else does. This lady right here, she's really long on everything. Oh fuck. Okay, so I need to share my home screen because this makes it a lot easier. Okay, so back to the video. I mean, sorry. So Vex trades. This guy, relax and stack. This guy, Mitch, Amanda. Oh, you can follow my friend. This guy right here, Ram charts. That's a good one. Zach Morris. He really got followed. If you like trade him, he really has to follow Zach Morris because that guy can move markets.
Yeah, that guy's crazy.
Boggs. I mean, PJ Matlock is one of those market movers. But yeah, I used to be a mod for them, and they kicked me out because then they said I was promoting other groups. So I was like, "Fuck that! I'm not doing that shit." Oh fuck it! And I was like, "Fuck you." Okay. But Miss Izzy and Blue Crypto are pretty good. This guy's pretty good too. Like this guy, really follow this guy. Will Mean's a good guy. He's to follow. So yeah, those are the list of people I follow. I mean, I keep saying like, okay, I'm not gonna follow that many people, but somehow I keep doing that to torture myself because they really have good stuff going on. All right, so that's about it. Do you guys have any questions so far? Or are we okay?
One question. So you said you're switching from flowalgo to cheddar flow. Is there a main reason behind that switch?
Price.
Price?
Yeah, it's expensive. If you're not splitting it with someone, it's $1,000 a year.
Holy shit.
So you think about that. I mean, I split it because price. Yeah, I'm switching because data. Yeah, data is this is an investment to make at least 10,000 a year or more. And you really have to make at least 10,000 or 50,000 to cover this. Just to justify, like, okay, $1,000 investment a year for the data, you need to make this much in trades, or even 100,000 to justify the price. This is not a expense you take lightly because if you use it, you better make at least 100 to like 1,000 a week or 3 grand. That's why I've been like really been saying and telling Nick, like, if you were able to get this data, you have to make payments on this because it's not cheap for data. You have to make at least 2 grand a week to justify the price because in the month, your return on base like okay a 150 investment, a monthly one, you triple that. You pretty much did like 1,000% or more to pay for this because you need this. You need this to trade. If you can't trade with based on dark pool, you're not getting the full picture. Because you have to understand the market makers. And if you don't understand the market makers and what they're doing, you're blind. I mean, you can trade based on the levels and not have the data, but the whole thing of how I understand sector rotation was based on this, like understanding what money was doing. And if money isn't moving, you're not getting your trades. And I know like Nick has the weakest hands. Like it's pretty much paper, and I keep telling him like, okay, you have to understand the macro, the money flows, and everything. So I mean, it's really up to him because I don't scalp. I mean, scalp like I don't like scalping for like $7-10 sometimes because it's not worth it to me. So I stay in the trade trying to make the $1,000 I need to cover this.
How much do you put into positions to make $1,000 return, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I need to put at least five contracts every time to make at least 500 or at least 700.
Okay, so you usually go for like 100% return.
Yeah.
And how do I become your student?
Oh, you have to pay me.
Okay,
I'm not
so
free.
how much?
Oh, $100.
Like a one. Sorry, continue.
$100 one time only.
Okay, sweet. I need to make some profits.
Because I know V under me, she grew her account from 500 to like 2.7, and B, she's like flipping accounts from tiny to big. That's one of my students. Like she's been flipping. I was like, wow. I post IRA trades too, but people bitch about it all the time, saying like, oh, they're not growing as fast as they want to, or like, oh, I didn't get the email, I do administrative stuff, and they're bitching all the time to me, and then I'm just like pissed. But
No, the
that's another thing. The
newsletter definitely
IRA is
works.
totally different. So the IRA went from 1.5 to 2.7 right now. I'm still in that phase where next week I need to meet the 3.5 grand deadline, basically. So I think by next week, March, so I'm shooting for 2% growth every day. So I'm pretty much in March levels to meet the $1,000, and it's all within 36 months. That's my timeline, so I complete it. But this is a 2-year thing. It's gonna be ongoing, and anyone who's kind of like new newsletter for an IRA. I mean, it's gonna go. It's pretty well going well. It's just like I have to grow at least $900 every time. So per week, I have to make at least $1,000. So that's about it. So I'm gonna stop this recording because I'm getting off topic.